Hello and welcome to the Mindful Zone. I'm so glad you've joined me here today. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or already familiar with our channel, thank you for being part of this peaceful space we've created together. Today we're going to explore a topic that touches all of us at some point in our lives: how to stop bad habits using the timeless wisdom of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness. Let's take a moment to breathe deeply. Inhale through your nose, hold it for just a second, and exhale slowly through your mouth. Feel yourself settling into this moment, letting go of any tension or worries you might be carrying. You're safe here. This is a judgment-free zone where we can learn, reflect, and grow together. Bad habits. They're something we all share as human beings. Maybe yours is procrastination, constantly checking your phone, overeating when you're stressed, or even falling into negative thought spirals. Whatever it may be, know this: you're not alone. These patterns don't define who you are. They're simply behaviors that have taken root over time. And the beautiful thing is, these habits can change. With patience, awareness, and practice, we can replace them with healthier ways of living. Today we'll delve into teachings from Buddhism, which offer profound insights into understanding why we cling to certain behaviors and how we can break free from them. We'll also explore practical tools like meditation and mindfulness, which empower us to live more consciously and intentionally. These practices aren't about perfection, they're about progress. They invite us to meet ourselves with kindness, curiosity, and compassion every step of the way. This video is structured into 10 chapters, each focusing on a specific aspect of Buddhist philosophy, meditation techniques, and mindfulness exercises designed to help you transform your relationship with bad habits. From cultivating self-awareness to embracing impermanence, building supportive routines, and finding joy in simplicity, we'll cover everything you need to create lasting positive change. Whether you're new to these concepts or someone who's been practicing mindfulness for years, there's something here for everyone. My hope is that by the end of this hour, you'll feel inspired and equipped with actionable steps to bring more peace and balance into your daily life. So, grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's begin this journey together. Remember, this isn't about fixing yourself, it's about nurturing the best version of who you already are. Let's dive in. Chapter 1: Understanding Bad Habits. Before we can address bad habits, it's essential to truly understand what they are and why they're so deeply ingrained in our lives. At their core, bad habits are automatic behaviors triggered by emotions, thoughts, or environmental cues. Think about it. When was the last time you reached for your phone out of habit? Or maybe you found yourself snacking late at night without even realizing it. These actions often happen without conscious thought because they've become ingrained responses to certain triggers. And the truth is, these patterns aren't random. They're shaped by layers of conditioning, emotional needs, and even biological wiring. Let's start by zooming out a little. Why do humans develop habits in the first place? From an evolutionary perspective, habits serve a purpose. They help us conserve mental energy. Imagine if every decision required intense focus and deliberation. It would be exhausting. Habits allow us to perform routine tasks, like brushing our teeth or tying our shoes, without having to think too much about them. They free up cognitive resources for more complex challenges. The problem arises when these automatic behaviors no longer serve us well. Instead of helping us thrive, they begin to hold us back. Now let's dive deeper into the mechanics of bad habits. According to neuroscience, habits form through a process called the habit loop. This loop consists of 3 components: a trigger, a behavior, and a reward. Let's break that down. First, there's the trigger, an external cue or internal feeling that prompts the behavior. For example, feeling stressed might trigger the urge to reach for a cigarette or scroll endlessly through social media. Next comes the behavior itself, the action you take in response to the trigger. Finally, there's the reward, the temporary sense of relief, pleasure, or satisfaction that reinforces the behavior. Over time, this cycle becomes automatic, creating a deeply ingrained pattern. But here's the catch. While rewards feel good in the moment, they often come with long-term costs. Take procrastination, for instance. Putting off a task might bring immediate relief from anxiety or overwhelm, but it doesn't make the task go away. In fact, delaying only adds to the stress later on, creating a vicious cycle. Similarly, emotional eating might soothe feelings of loneliness or frustration temporarily, but it doesn't heal the deeper emotional wounds driving those cravings. This is where Buddhist philosophy offers profound insights. One of the central teachings of Buddhism is that suffering arises from attachment, clinging to fleeting pleasures or trying to avoid discomfort. When we experience unpleasant emotions like stress, boredom, or sadness, we naturally seek relief. Unfortunately, many of the quick fixes we turn to, like binge-watching TV, overeating, or indulging in social media, only provide temporary satisfaction. They don't address the underlying causes of our discomfort, and often they leave us feeling worse in the long run. Take another common example, the habit of constantly checking your phone. What's really going on there? On the surface, it might seem harmless, a way to stay connected or entertained, but dig a little deeper and you'll find that the constant need for stimulation often stems from a desire to escape uncomfortable feelings. Maybe you're feeling restless, anxious, or bored. Your phone becomes a distraction, a way to numb those sensations rather than face them head-on. The irony is that over time, this habit can amplify the very feelings it was meant to suppress. Instead of bringing peace, it creates more restlessness and disconnection. The key insight here is that bad habits are symptoms, not problems in themselves. To truly transform them, we must look beneath the surface and explore the root causes. Why do we reach for distractions when faced with challenges? What emotions are we trying to escape? By asking these questions with curiosity rather than judgment, we begin to uncover valuable truths about ourselves. This is where mindfulness comes in. One of the most liberating aspects of Buddhist philosophy is its emphasis on non-judgmental awareness. Instead of criticizing ourselves for slipping up, we learn to observe our behaviors with gentle curiosity. Imagine catching yourself scrolling mindlessly through social media. Rather than berating yourself, pause for a moment. Notice the urge to keep scrolling. Where do you feel it in your body? Is it a sense of restlessness in your chest or fingers? Simply observing this sensation creates space between the trigger and the action. In that space lies freedom, the ability to choose a different response. Another crucial concept in Buddhism is the idea of conditioning. Our habits form through repetition, reinforced by reward. Each time we engage in a behavior, whether healthy or unhealthy, we strengthen neural pathways in the brain associated with that action. Over time, these pathways become well-worn grooves, making the behavior feel almost automatic. Breaking free from bad habits requires creating new pathways, which takes consistent effort and patience. But here's the good news. Awareness is the first step toward change. The simple act of noticing a habit begins to loosen its grip on you. For instance, if you tend to snack unconsciously while watching TV, try placing the snacks in a separate room. The extra effort required to fetch them interrupts the automatic pattern, giving you an opportunity to pause and decide whether you're truly hungry or simply bored. Mindfulness plays a vital role in this process. By bringing our full attention to the present moment, we become more attuned to our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. This heightened awareness allows us to recognize habitual patterns before they take hold. Imagine sitting down to eat dinner. Instead of rushing through the meal while distracted by your phone, savor each bite. Pay attention to the flavors, textures, and aromas. Eating mindfully not only enhances your enjoyment but also helps prevent overeating by allowing you to tune into your body's natural hunger and fullness signals. It's worth noting that breaking bad habits isn't about willpower alone. Willpower is finite, and relying solely on it often leads to frustration and burnout. Instead, focus on creating supportive environments and routines that make healthy choices easier. For example, if you want to reduce screen time before bed, charge your phone outside your bedroom. Small changes like this can yield significant results over time. Ultimately, the goal isn't to eliminate all bad habits overnight, it's to cultivate greater awareness and compassion for yourself along the way. Every slip-up is an opportunity to learn and grow. As we move forward in this video, we'll explore practical tools and techniques to help you build this foundation of awareness. Together, we'll discover how mindfulness and meditation can empower you to transform your habits and live a more intentional, fulfilling life. Let's pause here for a moment.
Take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for just a second, and exhale fully through your mouth. Allow yourself to sit with everything we've discussed so far. Reflect on one habit in your own life that you like to understand better. What triggers it? What reward does it offer? And most importantly, how can you approach it with kindness and curiosity rather than judgment? Remember, this journey is about progress, not perfection. You're already taking the first step simply by being here, open to learning and growing. Let's continue exploring together. Chapter 2, The Power of Mindfulness. In this chapter, we're going to explore one of the most transformative tools available to us, mindfulness. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by your thoughts, emotions, or bad habits, mindfulness is like a gentle anchor that helps you stay grounded in the present moment. It's not about escaping life's challenges, it's about meeting them with clarity, kindness, and awareness. And the best part? You don't need any special equipment or training to begin practicing it. All you need is yourself, your breath, and a willingness to pay attention. Let's start by defining what mindfulness actually means. At its core, mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment, without judgment. Sounds simple, right? But if you think about how much time we spend lost in thought, replaying past events, worrying about the future, or reacting impulsively to our emotions, you'll realize just how rare the true presence really is. Most of us live on autopilot, moving through our days without fully engaging with what's happening right now. Mindfulness invites us to step off that treadmill and come home to ourselves. So why does mindfulness matter when it comes to breaking bad habits? The answer lies in its ability to create space between stimulus and response. Think about it. When you act out of habit, there's often no gap between the trigger and the behavior. For example, feeling stressed might immediately lead you to reach for a cigarette or scroll endlessly through social media. But mindfulness interrupts this automatic chain reaction. By pausing to notice what's happening inside you, the physical sensations, the emotions, the thoughts, you give yourself the opportunity to choose a different path. To illustrate this, let's revisit the example of reaching for your phone out of habit. Without mindfulness, this action happens almost unconsciously. You feel bored, restless, or anxious, and before you know it, you're scrolling through social media feeds. But with mindfulness, you can catch yourself at the very moment the urge arises. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Is it boredom, loneliness, anxiety? Then take a deep breath and observe those feelings without trying to fix or suppress them. Often, simply acknowledging the emotion reduces its intensity, making it easier to resist the habitual response. Mindfulness also teaches us something profound about cravings and impulses. They are impermanent. This idea aligns beautifully with Buddhist teachings, which remind us that everything changes. A craving might feel overwhelming in the moment, but if you sit with it patiently, it will eventually pass. Imagine standing on the shore as waves crash against your legs. Each wave represents a craving or impulse. Instead of fighting against them or letting them sweep you away, you watch them rise and fall, knowing they won't last forever. This perspective gives you tremendous power over your habits because it reminds you that discomfort is temporary, and so is the urge to act on it. Now let's talk about how to cultivate mindfulness in your daily life. One of the simplest yet most effective ways is through mindful breathing. Your breath is always with you, making it the perfect anchor for your attention. Try this exercise with me now. Find a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes if you'd like, or soften your gaze. bring your awareness to your breath. Feel the cool air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and then slowly leaving your body. Don't try to control your breath, just let it flow naturally. If your mind wanders, and it will, that's perfectly okay. Gently guide your focus back to your breath each time.
This practice might seem basic, but it's incredibly powerful. Every time you return your attention to your breath, you strengthen your ability to stay present. Over time, this skill spills over into other areas of your life. When you notice a craving or urge arising, you'll be better equipped to pause and observe it rather than acting on it impulsively. Another way to deepen your mindfulness practice is through body scans. This technique involves bringing your attention systematically to different parts of your body, noticing any sensations without judgment. Start at the top of your head and work your way down to your toes. Are there areas of tension, warmth, tingling? Simply observe these sensations without trying to change them. Body scans not only increase your awareness of physical sensations, but also help you connect more deeply with your inner world. Many people find that this practice reduces stress and promotes relaxation, which can be especially helpful when dealing with triggers for bad habits. Mindful eating is another wonderful practice to incorporate into your routine. How often do we eat meals while distracted, scrolling through our phones, watching TV, or rushing through the day? Mindful eating invites us to slow down and savor each bite. Pay attention to the colors, textures, and aromas of your food. Notice how it feels in your mouth and how it tastes. Choose slowly and deliberately. This practice not only enhances your enjoyment of food, but also helps you tune into your body's natural hunger and fullness signals. Over time, it can reduce overeating and foster a healthier relationship with food. Walking meditation is another beautiful way to cultivate mindfulness. Instead of rushing from place to place, take a few moments to walk slowly and intentionally. Focus on the sensation of your feet touching the ground. Feel the rhythm of your steps. Notice the sights, sounds, and smells around you. Walking meditation transforms an ordinary activity into a sacred practice, reminding you that mindfulness doesn't have to be confined to sitting still. One of the most important aspects of mindfulness is self-compassion. It's easy to fall into the trap of judging ourselves harshly when we slip up or struggle with bad habits. But mindfulness encourages us to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. Remember, changing habits takes time, and setbacks are a natural part of the process. Instead of criticizing yourself for falling back into old patterns, acknowledge your effort and commitment to growth. Celebrate small victories along the way, knowing that every step forward matters. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect on how mindfulness can support your journey toward breaking bad habits. Take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for just a second, and exhale fully through your mouth. As you breathe, consider one area of your life where mindfulness could make a difference. Perhaps it's becoming more aware of emotional triggers, learning to pause before reacting impulsively, or simply finding moments of peace amidst chaos. Whatever it is, trust that mindfulness has the potential to transform not only your habits, but also your entire relationship with yourself and the world around you. As we continue exploring the principles of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness throughout this video, keep returning to this foundation of awareness. Mindfulness isn't just a tool, it's a way of being. It invites you to show up fully for your life, moment by moment, with curiosity and compassion. And in doing so, it empowers you to break free from the chains of habit and live with greater intention and joy. Take another deep breath, and let's move forward together. Chapter 3: Cultivating Compassion Toward Yourself. In this chapter, we're going to focus on one of the most transformative yet often overlooked aspects of personal growth: cultivating compassion toward yourself. If you've ever felt frustrated, guilty, or ashamed because of your bad habits, or even just for being human, You're not alone. These feelings are incredibly common, but they can also hold us back from making meaningful changes in our lives. What if I told you that self-compassion isn't weakness? It's actually a source of strength. By learning to treat ourselves with kindness, patience, and understanding, we create the emotional foundation necessary to break free from destructive patterns and embrace lasting change. Let's start by acknowledging something important. Breaking bad habits is hard work. It requires effort, consistency, and resilience. And along the way, setbacks are inevitable. Maybe you promised yourself you'd stop procrastinating, only to find yourself scrolling through social media instead. Or perhaps you committed to eating healthier, but then reached for comfort food during a stressful moment. When these moments happen, and they will, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism. We tell ourselves things like, "I'm so lazy," or "Why can't I just get it together?" But here's the truth. Beating yourself up doesn't help you grow. It only deepens feelings of shame and guilt, which can reinforce the very behaviors you're trying to change. This is where self-compassion comes in. Rooted in Buddhist teachings, self-compassion is the practice of treating yourself with the same kindness and care you would offer a dear friend who's struggling. Imagine your best friend comes to you feeling upset about a mistake they made. Would you scold them harshly, calling them names, or telling them they'll never improve? Of course not. You'd listen patiently, validate their feelings, and remind them that everyone makes mistakes. Now imagine extending that same level of compassion to yourself. How might that shift your perspective? Self-compassion has 3 key components, as defined by Dr. Kristin Neff, a leading researcher in the field: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Let's explore each of these in depth. First, self-kindness means responding to your struggles with warmth and understanding rather than judgment. Instead of berating yourself for slipping up, acknowledge your effort and remind yourself that change takes time. For example, if you find yourself falling back into an old habit, try saying something like, "It's okay, I'm doing my best and I'm learning." This simple act of self-soothing can reduce stress and create a sense of safety that allows you to move forward without fear of failure. Second, common humanity reminds us that imperfection is part of the shared human experience. So often when we struggle, we feel isolated, as though we're the only ones facing challenges. But the reality is that everyone deals with difficulties, insecurities, and setbacks. Recognizing this connection helps us let go of the belief that we need to be perfect to be worthy of love and respect. When you catch yourself thinking, "Why am I the only one who can't stick to my goals?" Pause and remind yourself, "I'm not alone, everyone stumbles sometimes." This mindset fosters empathy, not just for others, but for yourself. Finally, mindfulness ties everything together by encouraging us to observe our thoughts and emotions without getting swept away by them. When we make a mistake or encounter a setback, it's natural to feel disappointment or frustration. But mindfulness teaches us to sit with those feelings without exaggerating or suppressing them. For instance, instead of spiraling into negative self-talk after a slip-up, try observing your emotions with curiosity. Say to yourself, "I notice I'm feeling frustrated right now. That's okay. It's just a feeling." This non-judgmental awareness creates space for healing and growth. Now let's talk about why self-compassion is so powerful when it comes to breaking bad habits. One reason is that it reduces resistance. When we judge ourselves harshly, we create internal tension that makes it harder to take constructive action. Self-compassion, on the other hand, softens this resistance, allowing us to approach challenges with greater ease and openness. Think about it. Would you feel more motivated to keep going if someone yelled at you for messing up, or if they offered encouragement and support? The same principle applies to how you speak to yourself. Another benefit of self-compassion is that it boosts motivation. Contrary to popular belief, being kind to yourself doesn't lead to complacency. It actually enhances your ability to persevere. Studies have shown that people who practice self-compassion are more likely to take responsibility for their actions and make positive changes because they don't feel paralyzed by fear of failure. Instead of avoiding challenges due to anxiety about making mistakes, they tackle them head-on, knowing they'll be gentle with themselves no matter the outcome. So, how can you begin cultivating self-compassion in your daily life? Here are some practical steps to guide you. Reframe your inner dialogue. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself, especially during difficult moments. Are you using harsh language or critical tones? Challenge those thoughts by replacing them with kinder, more supportive statements. For example, instead of saying, "I always mess everything up," try saying, "I'm human and I'm learning." Practice self-compassion. Breaks. Whenever you're feeling overwhelmed or discouraged, take a few minutes to pause and offer yourself compassion. Place your hand over your heart, a gesture of comfort, and say silently or aloud, "This is a moment of suffering," acknowledging the pain. Suffering is part of life, recognizing common humanity. May I be kind to myself in this moment, offering self-kindness. Write yourself a letter. Sometimes putting pen to paper can help externalize your thoughts and emotions. Write a letter to yourself as if you were writing to a close friend who's going through a tough time. Offer words of encouragement, validation, and reassurance. Reading this letter later can serve as a reminder of your inherent worth and resilience. Celebrate small wins. Breaking bad habits is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how small. Did you resist the urge to check your phone during dinner? That's progress. Did you choose to go for a walk instead of indulging in emotional eating? That's growth. Acknowledge these victories and give yourself credit for showing up. Forgive yourself for setbacks. Remember, change is rarely linear. There will be days when you stumble, and that's okay. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, focus on what you can learn from the experience. Ask yourself, what triggered this behavior? What could I do differently next time? Then gently redirect your energy toward moving forward. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect on the power of self-compassion. Take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose. Hold it for just a second and exhale fully through your mouth. As you breathe, consider how you typically respond to setbacks or challenges. Do you tend to criticize yourself, or do you offer kindness and understanding? If the former feels more familiar, know that it's never too late to shift your approach. Every time you choose self-compassion over self-criticism, you strengthen your capacity for resilience and growth. One of the most beautiful aspects of Buddhism is its emphasis on interconnectedness, the idea that all beings deserve compassion, including ourselves. By nurturing self-compassion, we not only transform our relationship with bad habits, but also cultivate a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. Become less reactive, more patient, and better equipped to navigate life's ups and downs with grace. As we continue exploring the principles of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness throughout this video, carry this spirit of self-compassion with you. Treat yourself as a dear friend who's walking alongside you on this journey. Trust that every effort you make, even the imperfect ones, brings you closer to the life you envision for yourself. Take another deep breath and let's move forward together. Chapter 4. Meditation Techniques to Build Awareness. In this chapter, we're diving into the heart of mindfulness practice, meditation. If you've ever wondered how meditation can help you break bad habits, build awareness, and cultivate inner peace, you're about to discover its transformative power. Meditation isn't just a tool for relaxation. It's a profound practice that rewires your brain, sharpens your focus, and empowers you to respond to life with clarity and intention. Whether you're new to meditation or already have some experience, this chapter will provide you with practical techniques and insights to deepen your practice and integrate it into your daily life. Let's start by addressing a common misconception. Meditation is not about stopping your thoughts or achieving some elusive state of bliss. It's about becoming aware of what's happening in your mind and body without judgment. Think of your thoughts as clouds drifting across the sky. They come and go, sometimes dark and heavy, other times light and wispy. Meditation teaches you to observe these clouds without clinging to them or pushing them away. Over time, this practice builds awareness, an essential skill for breaking free from automatic behaviors and habitual patterns. So why is awareness so important when it comes to changing bad habits? The answer lies in the gap between stimulus and response. Without awareness, we react impulsively to triggers, often falling into familiar routines without even realizing it. For example, feeling stressed might immediately lead you to reach for a cigarette or scroll endlessly through social media. But meditation creates space between the trigger and the behavior. By training your mind to notice sensations, emotions, and thoughts as they arise, you give yourself the opportunity to choose a different response. Now, let's explore some foundational meditation techniques that can help you build this awareness. We'll cover breath-focused meditation, body scans, loving-kindness meditation, and visualization practices, all designed to support your journey toward greater mindfulness and self-awareness. 1. Breath-focused meditation. One of the simplest yet most powerful forms of meditation is focusing on your breath. Your breath is always with you, making it the perfect anchor for your attention. Here's how to practice. Find a comfortable seated position. You can sit cross-legged on the floor, in a chair, with your feet flat on the ground, or even lie down if that feels better for your body. Close your eyes if you'd like, or soften your gaze. Bring your awareness to your breath. Feel the cool air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and then slowly leaving your body. Don't try to control your breath, simply observe it as it flows naturally. As you meditate, you'll likely notice your mind wandering. This is completely normal. It's what minds do. When you catch yourself lost in thought, gently guide your attention back to your breath. Each time you return, you're strengthening your ability to stay present. Breath-focused meditation helps you develop concentration and awareness. Over time, this skill spills over into everyday life. For instance, when you feel the urge to engage in a bad habit, you'll be better equipped to pause and observe the sensation without acting on it immediately. 2. Body scan meditation. Another effective technique is the body scan, which involves systematically bringing your attention to different parts of your body. This practice not only increases bodily awareness but also helps release tension and stress, two factors that often contribute to bad habits. To begin, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Lie down on your back with your arms resting at your sides, palms facing up. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to settle into the moment. Now bring your awareness to the top of your head. Notice any sensations there. Is it tingling, tight, relaxed? Slowly move your attention down to your forehead, cheeks, jaw, neck, shoulders, arms, torso, legs, and finally, your toes. Spend a few moments on each area, observing without trying to change anything. If you encounter areas of tension, imagine breathing warmth and relaxation into those spots. Body scan meditation teaches you to listen to your body's signals, helping you recognize early warning signs of stress or discomfort before they escalate into cravings or impulsive actions. 3. Loving-kindness meditation. Loving-kindness meditation, also known as metta meditation in Buddhism, is a beautiful practice for cultivating compassion, not just for others, but for yourself. This is particularly relevant when working to overcome bad habits, as self-criticism often fuels cycles of guilt and shame. To practice, find a comfortable position and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Then silently repeat phrases like, "May I be happy," "May I be healthy," "May I be safe," "May I live with ease." Once you've directed these wishes toward yourself, expand your circle of compassion outward. Picture someone you love, a friend, family member, or pet, and offer them the same blessings. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. You can extend this practice further by offering loving kindness to neutral people, like strangers, and even challenging individuals in your life. While this may feel difficult at first, it's a powerful way to dissolve barriers and foster connection. Loving kindness meditation softens your heart and reminds you of your shared humanity. It reduces feelings of isolation and encourages kindness toward yourself during moments of struggle. 4. Visualization practices. Visualization is another powerful tool for building awareness and manifesting positive change. During meditation, you can use visualization to create mental images that inspire and motivate you. For example, if you're trying to break a habit like procrastination, visualize yourself completing tasks with ease and confidence. Imagine how good it feels to finish something important and celebrate your progress. Here's a simple exercise. Picture a bright, glowing light surrounding you. This light represents clarity, strength, and resilience. As you breathe in, imagine drawing this energy into your body. With each exhale, let go of any doubts, fears, or distractions. Visualization practices help align your intentions with your actions, reinforcing your commitment to growth. The science behind meditation. It's worth noting that meditation isn't just a spiritual practice. It's supported by extensive scientific research. Studies show that regular meditation strengthens neural pathways associated with focus, emotional regulation, and self-control. For example, mindfulness meditation has been shown to increase activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and impulse control. At the same time, it reduces activity in the amygdala, which governs fear and stress responses. These changes make it easier to resist temptations and respond to challenges with calmness and clarity. Additionally, meditation promotes neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Every time you meditate, you're creating new connections that support healthier habits and thought patterns. Over time, these small shifts add up to significant transformation. Practical tips for building a meditation practice. Starting a meditation practice doesn't have to be complicated. Here are some tips to help you get started and stay consistent. Start small. Begin with just 5-10 minutes per day. As your practice grows, you can gradually increase the duration. Create a routine. Meditate at the same time every day, whether it's first thing in the morning, during lunch breaks, or before bed. Consistency builds momentum. Find a comfortable space. Choose a quiet, peaceful spot where you won't be interrupted. Add elements like candles, cushions, or plants to make the space inviting. Use guided meditations. Apps and online resources offer guided meditations that can help you stay focused and motivated. Be patient. Like any skill, meditation takes practice. Don't expect perfection. Simply show up and do your best. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect on the role meditation can play in transforming your relationship with bad habits. Take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for just a second, and exhale fully through your mouth. As you breathe, consider one area of your life where meditation could support your growth. Perhaps it's increasing your awareness of emotional triggers, finding moments of calm amidst chaos, or fostering compassion for yourself and others. Whatever it is, trust that meditation has the power to illuminate your path forward. Meditation is more than a technique, it's a lifelong journey of discovery. It invites you to meet yourself exactly as you are, with all your strengths and vulnerabilities. And in doing so, it empowers you to break free from the chains of habit and live with greater presence, purpose, and joy. Take another deep breath, and let's continue exploring together. Chapter 5: Embracing Impermanence. In this chapter, we're going to explore one of the most profound teachings in Buddhism: impermanence. If you've ever felt stuck in a bad habit or overwhelmed by life's challenges, understanding impermanence can be a source of immense comfort and empowerment. At its heart, impermanence reminds us that nothing lasts forever. Not our cravings, not our struggles, and certainly not our bad habits. By embracing this truth, we can let go of resistance, reduce suffering, and open ourselves to the possibility of change. Let's begin by reflecting on what impermanence actually means. Simply put, it's the idea that everything is constantly changing. The seasons shift, relationships evolve, and even our thoughts and emotions come and go like waves on the ocean. Nothing remains static, not the joy we feel during happy moments, nor the pain we experience during difficult times. While this reality might seem unsettling at first glance, it's actually incredibly liberating. Why? Because it teaches us that no matter how challenging or overwhelming a situation may feel right now, it will pass. And conversely, it reminds us to savor the beautiful moments while they last, because they too are fleeting. Now, let's connect this concept to breaking bad habits. One of the reasons habits are so hard to break is that they often serve as coping mechanisms for discomfort. Whether it's reaching for junk food when you're stressed, scrolling through social media to numb boredom, or procrastinating to avoid anxiety, these behaviors provide temporary relief, but only at a cost. They reinforce cycles of craving and aversion, keeping us trapped in patterns that perpetuate suffering. But here's where impermanence comes in. Every craving, every urge, every emotion you experience is impermanent. It arises, peaks, and eventually fades away. Recognizing this simple truth gives you tremendous power over your habits. Instead of reacting impulsively to discomfort, you can learn to sit with it, trusting that it won't last forever. To illustrate this point, let's revisit the example of resisting cravings. Imagine you're trying to cut back on sugary snacks. You suddenly have an intense desire for chocolate. It feels overwhelming, almost unbearable. Without mindfulness, you might immediately reach for the candy bar to make the craving disappear. But if you pause and reflect on impermanence, you'll realize something important. This craving isn't permanent. It will rise, peak, and then subside, all on its own. So instead of giving in, try observing the sensation with curiosity. Where do you feel it in your body? Is it a tightness in your chest, a tingling in your mouth, or restlessness in your hands? Sit with it patiently, reminding yourself, this too shall pass. Often simply acknowledging the impermanence of the craving reduces its intensity, making it easier to resist. Impermanence also applies to the emotional triggers behind many bad habits. For instance, feelings of loneliness, frustration, or boredom don't last indefinitely. Yet when we're caught up in them, they can feel all-consuming. Meditation teacher Pema Chodron often talks about leaning into discomfort rather than running away from it. She encourages us to view difficult emotions as teachers, opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. When you find yourself overwhelmed by negative feelings, remind yourself that they are transient. Like storm clouds passing across the sky, they will clear eventually. By sitting with these emotions without judgment, you cultivate resilience and inner strength. But embracing impermanence isn't just about enduring hardships. It's also about appreciating the beauty of life's fleeting moments. Think about the last time you truly savored something, a warm cup of tea on a chilly morning, laughter shared with a loved one, or the golden glow of a sunset. These experiences are precious precisely because they don't last. Impermanence invites us to slow down, pay attention, and cherish the present moment. This mindset shift can profoundly impact our relationship with bad habits. Instead of seeking quick fixes or distractions, we begin to find fulfillment in the richness of everyday life. Now, let's delve deeper into how you can integrate the principle of impermanence into your daily practice. Here are some practical exercises and reflections to help you embrace this transformative teaching. 1. Reflecting on change. Take a few minutes each day to notice examples of impermanence around you. Watch how the light changes throughout the day, observe the growth of plants, or listen to the shifting sounds of nature. Even subtle changes, like the way your breath flows in and out, serve as reminders of impermanence. You can also journal about personal experiences of change. What has shifted in your life recently? How have you grown or adapted? Reflecting on these examples fosters gratitude and acceptance of life's fluidity. 2. Observing sensations without attachment. When you notice a craving, emotion, or physical sensation arising, practice observing it without attachment. Ask yourself, is this feeling permanent? The answer is always no. Remind yourself that sensations ebb and flow like waves. If you're struggling with a particularly strong craving, try timing it. Set a timer for 5 minutes and commit to sitting with the sensation during that period. More often than not, you'll discover that the intensity diminishes long before the timer goes off. 3. Practicing letting go. One of the most powerful ways to work with impermanence is through letting go. This doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing attachment to outcomes and accepting things as they are. For example, if you slip up and engage in a bad habit, resist the urge to dwell on guilt or shame. Acknowledge what happened, forgive yourself, and gently redirect your focus toward moving forward. Similarly, if you're clinging to a specific goal or expectation, remind yourself that flexibility is key. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned, and that's okay. 4. Meditating on impermanence. Meditation offers a perfect opportunity to deepen your understanding of impermanence. Here's a guided exercise to try. Find a comfortable seated position and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths to settle into the moment. Now bring your awareness to your breath. Notice how each inhale arises and then dissolves into an exhale. Observe how sensations in your body continually shift: tingling, warmth, coolness, tension, relaxation. Extend this awareness outward, noticing the impermanence of sounds, smells, and thoughts. Silently repeat phrases like, "Everything is changing. This moment will not last. I am part of this flow of change." Allow these reflections to fill you with a sense of peace and surrender. Impermanence isn't something to fear. It's a natural rhythm of existence. 5. Finding joy in transience. Finally, use impermanence as a lens for finding joy in small, fleeting pleasures. Sip your morning coffee slowly, savoring its aroma and flavor. Walk barefoot in the grass, feeling the earth beneath your feet. Listen intently to birdsong or the rustle of leaves. These moments may seem ordinary, but they hold extraordinary beauty when viewed through the lens of impermanence. By training yourself to appreciate life's transience, you create a reservoir of contentment that reduces the pull of bad habits. Why impermanence matters. Understanding impermanence transforms how we relate to our habits and ourselves. It helps us release the illusion of control, the belief that we can cling to pleasure or avoid discomfort indefinitely. Instead, we learn to flow with life's rhythms, embracing both its joys and challenges with equanimity. This mindset shift not only supports breaking bad habits, but also cultivates a deeper sense of peace and purpose. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect on the role impermanence plays in your own life. Take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for just a second, and exhale fully through your mouth. As you breathe, consider one area of your life where impermanence could offer insight or comfort. Perhaps it's letting go of guilt after a setback, finding patience during a tough transition, or simply appreciating the beauty of the present moment. Whatever it is, trust that impermanence holds the key to freedom and transformation. Embracing impermanence isn't always easy. It requires courage and vulnerability, but it's also a gift. It reminds us that life is dynamic, unpredictable, and infinitely precious. By opening ourselves to this truth, we step into a state of greater awareness, compassion, and resilience. Take another deep breath, and let's continue exploring together. Chapter 6. Creating Healthy Routines. In this chapter, we're going to focus on one of the most practical yet transformative aspects of breaking bad habits: creating healthy routines. If you've ever tried to make a positive change only to feel overwhelmed or discouraged, you're not alone. Change can be challenging, but it becomes much more manageable when we replace old patterns with supportive structures that align with our goals. Healthy routines act as scaffolding for growth, providing stability, consistency, and momentum as we work toward living a more mindful and fulfilling life. Let's start by acknowledging why routines are so powerful. Human beings thrive on structure. Our brains love predictability because it reduces decision fatigue and conserves mental energy. When we establish consistent daily practices, we free ourselves from constantly having to decide what to do next. This allows us to focus our attention on what truly matters, cultivating awareness, building resilience, and nurturing well-being. Think about it. If you have a set time each day for meditation, exercise, or journaling, you're less likely to fall back into unhelpful habits simply because they require effort and deliberation. Over time, these small actions compound, leading to significant shifts in your mindset and behavior. Now, let's explore how to design routines that support your journey toward breaking bad habits. The key is to start small, stay flexible, and prioritize sustainability over perfection. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you create routines that stick and inspire lasting change. 1. Identify your goals. Before you dive into designing a routine, take some time to clarify your intentions. What specific habit are you trying to break? What values or aspirations underlie your desire for change? For example, if you want to stop procrastinating, ask yourself why. Is it because you value productivity, creativity, or peace of mind? Understanding your why will give you clarity and motivation as you build your routine. Once you've identified your overarching goal, break it down into smaller, actionable steps. Instead of saying, "I want to eat healthier," define what that looks like in practice. Drinking more water, eating a serving of vegetables at every meal, or preparing meals ahead of time. Specificity is crucial. It gives you clear targets to aim for and makes progress easier to track. 2. Start small and build gradually. One of the biggest mistakes people make when creating new routines is trying to overhaul their entire lifestyle overnight. While enthusiasm is admirable, taking on too much too quickly often leads to burnout and frustration. Instead, adopt a gradual approach. Commit to 1 or 2 small changes that align with your goals and focus on mastering them before adding anything else. For instance, if you're working on reducing screen time, start by setting aside just 10 minutes each evening to disconnect and engage in a calming activity like reading or stretching. Once this becomes a habit, you can expand it to 20 minutes or incorporate other screen-free activities throughout the day. Remember, consistency matters more than intensity. Even tiny victories add up over time, creating a strong foundation for further growth. 3. Anchor new habits to existing ones. A powerful technique for integrating new behaviors into your daily life is habit stacking, linking a new habit to an existing one. This leverages the power of context and association, making it easier to remember and follow through. For example, if you already brush your teeth every morning, use that as a cue to meditate for 5 minutes immediately afterward. Or if you always drink coffee first thing in the morning, pair it with journaling 3 thoughts of gratitude. By piggybacking new habits onto established ones, you reduce the cognitive load required to initiate them, increasing the likelihood that they'll stick. 4. Design your environment for success. Your environment plays a critical role in shaping your behaviors. If you want to break bad habits and cultivate healthier ones, it's essential to create surroundings that support your goals. This might mean decluttering your space, rearranging furniture, or removing temptations that trigger unwanted behaviors. For example, if you're trying to cut back on junk food, keep unhealthy snacks out of sight, or better yet, don't buy them in the first place. Replace them with nutritious options like fruits, nuts, or herbal teas. Similarly, if you struggle with distractions while working, designate a specific area of your home as a focus zone and remove anything that could pull your attention away, such as your phone or TV remote. Small environmental tweaks can have a big impact. Studies show that people who place their alarm clocks across the room are more likely to get out of bed when it rings compared to those who keep it within arm's reach. Likewise, keeping a reusable water bottle on your desk encourages hydration. while placing sneakers near the door prompts you to go for a walk. Be intentional about designing your environment to nudge you toward the behaviors you want to reinforce. 5. Celebrate progress, not perfection. As you implement your new routines, it's important to celebrate your progress along the way, even if it feels minor. Changing habits is a marathon, not a sprint, and every step forward deserves recognition. Celebrating small wins boosts motivation, reinforces positive behaviors, and reminds you that growth is happening even when it doesn't feel dramatic. How you celebrate is entirely up to you. It could be as simple as pausing to acknowledge your accomplishment internally. I did it, I stuck to my plan today. Treating yourself to something special, like a relaxing bath or a favorite snack, or sharing your success with a friend or loved one. The key is to find ways to reward yourself that feel meaningful and sustainable. Avoid tying rewards to indulgences that undermine your goals. Instead, choose affirmations or activities that nourish your body and soul. 6. Stay flexible and kind to yourself. Life is unpredictable, and there will inevitably be days when sticking to your routine feels impossible. Maybe you overslept, had a stressful day at work, or simply didn't have the energy to follow through. When this happens, resist the urge to criticize yourself or throw in the towel altogether. Instead, practice self-compassion and flexibility. Remind yourself that setbacks are part of the process, and tomorrow is a fresh opportunity to begin again. If maintaining a full routine feels overwhelming during particularly busy or challenging times, scale back to the essentials. Prioritize non-negotiable practices that anchor your well-being, such as drinking enough water, getting adequate sleep, or taking a few deep breaths to center yourself. Flexibility ensures that your routines remain adaptable and sustainable, rather than rigid or burdensome. 7. Incorporate rituals that nourish your soul. While routines provide structure, rituals infuse your day with meaning and presence. A ritual is any action performed with intention and mindfulness, transforming ordinary moments into sacred experiences. For example, brewing a cup of tea can become a ritual if you pay attention to the process, feeling the warmth of the mug, inhaling the aroma, and savoring each sip. Similarly, lighting a candle before meditation or writing in a gratitude journal can serve as anchors for mindfulness and reflection. Rituals help counteract the monotony of daily life, reminding us to slow down and appreciate the beauty in simplicity. They also strengthen your connection to your values and aspirations, reinforcing the reasons behind your efforts to break bad habits. 8. Reflect and refine regularly. Finally, take time to periodically review and refine your routines. Ask yourself, are these practices still serving me? Do I need to adjust them based on changing circumstances or priorities? Reflection allows you to stay aligned with your goals while adapting to life's inevitable ebbs and flows. Journaling is an excellent tool for this purpose. At the end of each week or month, write down what worked well, what felt challenging, and what you'd like to improve moving forward. Use this insight to tweak your routines, ensuring they continue to support your growth and evolution. Why healthy routines matter? Healthy routines aren't just about ticking boxes. They're about creating a lifestyle that honors your well-being and supports your highest potential. They provide a sense of stability and grounding, helping you navigate challenges with grace and resilience. At the same time, they foster joy and fulfillment by encouraging you to engage in activities that nurture your body, mind, and spirit. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect on the role routines play in your own life. Take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for just a second, and exhale fully through your mouth. As you breathe, consider one small change you could make to your daily routine that would bring you closer to your goals. Perhaps it's starting your morning with a few moments of gratitude, incorporating a short walk into your day, or setting boundaries around screen time. Whatever it is, trust that even the smallest adjustments can lead to profound transformations over time. Creating healthy routines isn't about achieving perfection. It's about showing up consistently and kindly for yourself. Each step you take brings you closer to the life you envision, a life filled with purpose, balance, and peace. Take another deep breath and let's continue exploring together. Chapter 7. Practicing Gratitude. In this chapter, we're going to explore one of the most transformative yet often overlooked practices for breaking bad habits and cultivating well-being: gratitude. Gratitude has the power to shift our perspective, rewire our brains, and open us up to the abundance that already exists in our lives. It's not just about feeling thankful, it's about actively seeking and appreciating the good, even amidst challenges. By making gratitude a cornerstone of your daily routine, you'll find yourself less drawn to destructive patterns and more attuned to the beauty and richness of life. Let's start by understanding what gratitude really means. At its core, gratitude is the practice of recognizing and appreciating the positive aspects of your life, big or small. It's about focusing on what you do have rather than fixating on what's missing. This simple shift in mindset can have profound effects on your mental health, relationships, and overall sense of fulfillment. Studies show that people who regularly practice gratitude experience lower levels of stress, improved sleep quality, and greater resilience in the face of adversity. But beyond these tangible benefits, gratitude also fosters a deeper connection to the present moment, helping you break free from cycles of craving and dissatisfaction that fuel bad habits. Now let's delve into why gratitude is such a powerful tool when it comes to changing behaviors. One reason is that it directly counters the negativity bias, a natural tendency of the human brain to focus more on negative experiences than positive ones. From an evolutionary standpoint, this bias helped our ancestors survive by keeping them alert to potential threats. However, in modern life, it often leads to chronic dissatisfaction and a skewed perception of reality. For example, if you obsess over how much work you still need to finish, instead of acknowledging what you've accomplished, you're likely to feel overwhelmed and unmotivated. Similarly, if you dwell on past mistakes or perceived shortcomings, you're reinforcing feelings of guilt and inadequacy that can perpetuate bad habits. Gratitude interrupts this cycle by training your brain to notice and savor the good. When you consciously focus on what's working well in your life, you begin to see opportunities for joy and growth everywhere, even in difficult situations. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. Rather, it's about finding balance and perspective. By practicing gratitude, you cultivate a mindset of abundance, which reduces the urge to seek fleeting pleasures or distractions as a way to cope with discomfort. 1. The science behind gratitude. Before we dive into practical exercises, let's take a moment to appreciate the science behind gratitude. Research has shown that expressing gratitude activates regions of the brain associated with reward and emotional regulation, including the prefrontal cortex and the hypothalamus. These areas play a key role in decision-making, impulse control, and stress management, all crucial factors when it comes to breaking bad habits. Additionally, gratitude strengthens social bonds and increases feelings of connectedness. When you express appreciation for others, whether through words or actions, you deepen your relationships and create a supportive network that encourages positive change. This sense of belonging and community is especially important when you're working to overcome challenges, as it reminds you that you're not alone on your journey. 2. Keeping a gratitude journal. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to practice gratitude is by keeping a gratitude journal. This involves writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day. They don't have to be grand gestures or monumental achievements. They can be as ordinary as a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or the sound of rain against your window. The act of reflecting on and recording these moments trains your mind to notice positivity even during tough times. Here's how to get started. Choose a notebook or digital app where you'll record your entries. Make it inviting, perhaps decorate the cover or choose a format that inspires you. Set aside a few minutes each day, ideally in the morning or evening, to write your list. Consistency is key. Be specific. Instead of writing, "I'm grateful for my family," try, "I'm grateful for the laughter I shared with my sister today." Specificity deepens your appreciation and makes the exercise more meaningful. Over time, you'll begin to notice patterns in what brings you joy and fulfillment. You might also discover hidden blessings in unexpected places, fostering a greater sense of contentment and resilience. 3. Expressing gratitude to others. While journaling is a wonderful personal practice, expressing gratitude outwardly amplifies its impact. Take time to thank the people in your life who make a difference, whether it's a close friend, a co-worker, or even a stranger. A heartfelt note, a phone call, or a simple verbal acknowledgement can brighten someone's day, and yours in return. If you're unsure where to start, consider these ideas. Write a letter to someone who has positively influenced your life. Describe how they've impacted you and express your sincere appreciation. You can send it or keep it private. It's the act of reflection that matters most. Practice random acts of kindness. Leave a generous tip. Hold the door open for someone or offer a compliment. These small gestures spread goodwill and reinforce your own sense of gratitude. Reflect on the unsung heroes in your life, the barista who serves your coffee, the postal worker who delivers your mail, or the neighbor who keeps their yard tidy. Recognizing their contributions reminds you of the interconnectedness of humanity. 4. Finding gratitude in challenges. It's easy to feel grateful when things are going well, but true gratitude shines brightest during difficult times. While it may seem counterintuitive, reframing challenges as opportunities for growth can help you navigate adversity with grace and resilience. Ask yourself, what lessons am I learning from this experience? How is it shaping me into a stronger, wiser version of myself? For example, if you're struggling to break a bad habit, view setbacks as stepping stones rather than failures. Each misstep offers valuable insight into your triggers, emotions, and thought patterns, bringing you closer to lasting change. Similarly, if you're facing financial hardship, focus on the skills you're developing, the support systems you're building, or the creativity you're tapping into to adapt. To practice this skill, try the following exercise. Think of a recent challenge you've encountered. Write down 3 silver linings or positive outcomes that emerged from it. Reflect on how these insights have enriched your life or prepared you for future success. This process shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, empowering you to approach obstacles with optimism and courage. 5. Incorporating gratitude into daily life. Gratitude doesn't have to be confined to journals or letters. It can become a seamless part of your everyday existence. Here are some creative ways to weave gratitude into your routine. Morning rituals. Start your day by naming 3 things you're grateful for before getting out of bed. This sets a positive tone for the hours ahead. Mealtime reflections. Before eating, pause to appreciate the food in front of you. Consider the farmers, chefs, and loved ones who contributed to your meal. Evening reflections. As you wind down for the night, think about one thing that brought you joy or comfort during the day. Let it fill you with warmth and peace. Mindful moments. Throughout the day, pause to notice something beautiful or inspiring, a blooming flower, a child's laughter, or the warmth of the sun on your skin. Allow yourself to fully absorb the sensation. By incorporating gratitude into various aspects of your life, you create a tapestry of positivity that counteracts negativity and fuels your motivation to break bad habits. 6. Overcoming resistance to gratitude. Despite its many benefits, practicing gratitude isn't always easy. Some days it might feel forced or insincere, especially if you're dealing with significant challenges. If you find yourself resistant to gratitude, acknowledge those feelings without judgment. It's okay to struggle. It's part of being human. Instead of pressuring yourself to feel grateful, focus on cultivating curiosity. Approach each moment with openness and wonder, asking yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How does it fit into the larger story of my life? Over time, this mindset will naturally lead to a deeper appreciation for both the highs and lows of your journey. Why gratitude matters. Practicing gratitude transforms not only your relationship with bad habits, but also your entire outlook on life. It teaches you to embrace imperfection, celebrate progress, and cherish the present moment. By shifting your focus from lack to abundance, you reduce the pull of cravings and distractions, creating space for healthier choices and more fulfilling experiences. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect on the role gratitude plays in your own life. Take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for just a second, and exhale fully through your mouth. As you breathe, consider one thing you're truly grateful for right now. It could be something as simple as the air filling your lungs or the roof over your head. Whatever it is, let that feeling of appreciation wash over you, grounding you in the here and now. Gratitude is more than a practice. It's a way of living. It invites you to meet each moment with openness, humility, and joy. And in doing so, it empowers you to break free from the chains of habit and step into a life filled with purpose, connection, and peace. Take another deep breath, and let's continue exploring together. Chapter 8. Finding Joy in Simplicity. In this chapter, we're going to explore one of the most profound, yet often overlooked paths to breaking bad habits and cultivating lasting well-being, finding joy in simplicity. In a world that constantly bombards us with distractions, demands, and pressures to do more and have more, simplicity offers a refreshing antidote. It invites us to slow down, declutter our lives both physically and mentally, and reconnect with what truly matters. By embracing simplicity, we create space for mindfulness, clarity, and contentment to flourish, reducing the pull of destructive patterns and fostering a deeper sense of peace. Let's begin by reflecting on why simplicity is so powerful. At its essence, simplicity is about stripping away the unnecessary and focusing on what brings genuine value to your life. This doesn't mean living an austere or deprived existence. It means intentionally curating your environment, schedule, and mindset to align with your values and aspirations. When you simplify, you reduce overwhelm, increase focus, and make room for meaningful experiences. And perhaps most importantly, you counteract the endless pursuit of external validation or material possessions that often fuels bad habits like overconsumption, procrastination, or compulsive scrolling. Now, let's dive into how simplicity can transform your relationship with bad habits and support your journey toward greater mindfulness and fulfillment. 1. The illusion of more. One of the biggest myths perpetuated by modern society is that happiness comes from having more money, more possessions, more achievements. Advertisements tell us that buying the latest gadget or indulging in luxury will bring lasting satisfaction. Social media feeds us curated images of perfection, making us feel inadequate unless we measure up. But here's the truth. Chasing after more rarely leads to true happiness. Instead, it creates a cycle of craving and dissatisfaction, leaving us feeling empty no matter how much we acquire. This is where simplicity shines. By letting go of the illusion that more equals better, we open ourselves to the possibility of finding joy in less. Consider this. When was the last time you felt genuinely happy because of something external? Chances are those moments were fleeting. True happiness stems from within, from cultivating presence, connection, and gratitude. Simplifying your life allows you to tap into these internal sources of joy, reducing the urge to seek fulfillment through temporary fixes or distractions. 2. Decluttering your physical space. A cluttered environment often mirrors a cluttered mind. When your home or workspace is filled with unnecessary items, it becomes harder to focus, relax, and think clearly. This is especially problematic if you're trying to break bad habits, as excess stimuli can trigger cravings or impulsive behaviors. For example, a messy kitchen might lead you to order takeout instead of preparing a healthy meal, while piles of unread books or unorganized papers could fuel procrastination. The solution? Declutter your physical space. Start small, choose one area, such as your desk, closet, or kitchen counter, and remove anything that doesn't serve a purpose or bring you joy. Ask yourself, does this item add value to my life? If not, consider donating, recycling, or discarding it. As you simplify your surroundings, pay attention to how it affects your mood and productivity. A clean, organized space promotes calmness and clarity, making it easier to engage in mindful practices like meditation, journaling, or cooking nourishing meals. Plus, decluttering itself can be a meditative act, encouraging you to slow down and appreciate the process of letting go. 3. Simplifying your schedule. Just as physical clutter can overwhelm your senses, a packed schedule can drain your energy and scatter your focus. Many of us fall into the trap of overcommitting, saying yes to every invitation, project, or obligation without considering whether it aligns with our priorities. Over time, this leads to burnout, stress, and a diminished capacity for self-care, all of which can exacerbate bad habits. To simplify your schedule, start by identifying your core values and goals. What truly matters to you? Is it spending quality time with loved ones, pursuing creative passions, or prioritizing rest and relaxation? Once you have clarity, evaluate your current commitments. Are there activities or responsibilities that don't align with your values? If so, gently release them. Next, build buffer zones into your day. Leave space between appointments or tasks to breathe, reflect, and recharge. Use this time to engage in mindfulness practices, take a walk, or simply sit quietly. By giving yourself permission to slow down, you cultivate resilience and prevent the accumulation of stress that often triggers unhealthy coping mechanisms. 4. Embracing minimalism. Minimalism isn't about depriving yourself, it's about intentionally choosing what adds meaning to your life and letting go of the rest. This philosophy extends beyond physical possessions to include digital clutter, toxic relationships, and unhelpful thought patterns. For instance, consider your relationship with technology. How many apps, notifications, or social media accounts do you use out of habit rather than necessity? Streamline your digital life by uninstalling unused apps, turning off non-essential notifications, and setting boundaries around screen time. These small changes can significantly reduce distractions and free up mental bandwidth for more fulfilling pursuits. Similarly, examine your relationships. Are there people in your life who drain your energy or reinforce negative behaviors? While it's important to approach this topic with compassion, it's equally vital to set healthy boundaries. Surround yourself with individuals who uplift, inspire, and support your growth. Finally, practice minimalism in your thoughts. Notice when your mind spirals into worry, comparison, or self-criticism. Gently redirect your attention to the present moment, reminding yourself that simplicity begins within. 5. Savoring simple pleasures. One of the greatest gifts of simplicity is the ability to savor life's small joys. Whether it's sipping a cup of tea, watching a sunset, or listening to raindrops patter against the window, these moments hold immense beauty when approached with mindfulness. Unfortunately, in our fast-paced world, we often rush past them without fully experiencing their magic. To cultivate this skill, practice slowing down and immersing yourself in everyday pleasures. Here are some ideas. Mindful eating. Instead of rushing through meals, take time to appreciate the flavors, textures, and aromas of your food. Chew slowly and savor each bite. Nature walks. Spend time outdoors paying attention to the sights, sounds, and sensations around you. Feel the breeze on your skin, notice the colors of the leaves, and listen to the rustle of grass underfoot. Creative expression. Engage in activities that spark joy, such as drawing, writing, gardening, or playing music. Focus on the process rather than the outcome. By tuning into these simple pleasures, you train your brain to find happiness in the present moment, reducing the need to seek external stimulation or gratification. 6. Letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is another barrier to simplicity. It convinces us that everything must be flawless, leading to anxiety, procrastination, and dissatisfaction. Breaking free from this mindset requires embracing imperfection and celebrating effort over outcomes. Start by reframing failure as feedback. Every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Instead of berating yourself for mistakes, ask, what can I take away from this experience? How does it contribute to my journey? Next, adopt a good enough mentality. Not everything needs to be perfect. Sometimes done is better than perfect. For example, if you're working on decluttering your home, aim to tidy one drawer or shelf rather than tackling the entire house at once. Progress, no matter how incremental, is still progress. 7. Creating rituals of simplicity. Rituals are a beautiful way to infuse your daily life with simplicity and intention. They don't have to be elaborate, just actions performed with mindfulness and care. For example, begin each morning with a few minutes of deep breathing or stretching. Light a candle before dinner to mark the transition from work to relaxation. End your day by reflecting on 3 things you enjoyed or appreciated. These rituals anchor you in the present moment, reminding you to pause and appreciate the beauty of simplicity. Why simplicity matters. Simplicity isn't just a lifestyle choice, it's a pathway to freedom. By shedding the unnecessary, you reclaim your time, energy, and attention, directing them toward what truly enriches your life. You become less reactive, more grounded, and better equipped to navigate challenges with grace. Most importantly, you discover that happiness doesn't come from external sources. It's already within you, waiting to be uncovered. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect on the role simplicity plays in your own life. Take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for just a second, and exhale fully through your mouth. As you breathe, consider one area where you could embrace simplicity. Perhaps it's clearing out a cluttered drawer, saying no to an unnecessary commitment, or savoring a quiet moment with a cup of tea. Whatever it is, trust that even small acts of simplification can ripple outward, creating profound shifts in your well-being. Finding joy in simplicity isn't about giving up. It's about gaining clarity, peace, and purpose. It's about remembering that less truly is more, and that the richest experiences often stem from the simplest moments. Take another deep breath, and let's continue exploring together. Chapter 9. Building Community Support. In this chapter, we're going to explore the transformative power of community support, a vital yet often overlooked element in breaking bad habits and fostering lasting well-being. Human beings are inherently social creatures. We thrive on connection, belonging, and shared experiences. When you surround yourself with supportive people who share your values and aspirations, you create a foundation of encouragement, accountability, and inspiration that can carry you through even the toughest challenges. Let's begin by acknowledging why community matters so much when it comes to personal growth. Breaking bad habits isn't just an individual endeavor, it's a collective journey. While self-discipline and mindfulness are essential, they're amplified exponentially when paired with the strength and wisdom of others. A supportive community provides not only practical tools, but also emotional sustenance, reminding you that you're never alone in your struggles. Whether it's celebrating victories, navigating setbacks, or simply offering a listening ear, the presence of others can make all the difference in sustaining momentum and staying aligned with your goals. Now let's delve into how building community support can help you overcome bad habits and cultivate a life filled with purpose, joy, and resilience. 1. The power of shared accountability. One of the greatest benefits of community is accountability, the gentle nudge that keeps you moving forward when motivation wanes. When you share your intentions and progress with trusted friends, family members, or like-minded individuals, You invite them to witness your journey and hold you accountable. This doesn't mean judgment or criticism. It means creating a safe space where honesty and vulnerability are valued. For example, imagine telling a close friend about your goal to meditate daily. Knowing that someone else is aware of your commitment increases the likelihood that you'll follow through, not out of obligation, but because you don't want to disappoint someone who believes in you. Similarly, joining a group dedicated to mindfulness or healthy living, whether online or in person, can provide structure and reinforcement. Hearing others share their successes and challenges inspires you to keep showing up, even on days when it feels difficult. To harness the power of accountability, try these strategies. Find an accountability partner. Identify someone who shares your goals and commit to checking in regularly. Share updates, celebrate milestones, and offer mutual encouragement. Join a community group. Look for local or virtual groups focused on topics like meditation, fitness, mindful eating, or habit change. Platforms like Meetup, Facebook groups, or apps like Insight Timer can connect to you with like-minded individuals. Set group challenges. Collaborate with others to tackle specific goals such as completing a 30-day meditation streak or participating in a digital detox weekend. Friendly competition and teamwork can boost motivation. 2. Learning from collective wisdom. Another remarkable aspect of community is access to diverse perspectives and experiences. No matter how knowledgeable or experienced you may be, there's always something new to learn from others. Sharing stories, insights, and strategies creates a rich tapestry of wisdom that everyone can draw from. Consider this scenario. You've been struggling to stick to a morning routine despite numerous attempts. During a group discussion, another member shares a technique they use, waking up 15 minutes earlier to enjoy a quiet cup of tea before starting their day. Inspired, you decide to give it a try, and suddenly mornings feel less rushed and more enjoyable. These small, actionable tips add up over time, helping you refine your approach and build confidence. To tap into collective wisdom, engage actively within your chosen communities. Ask questions. Don't hesitate to seek advice or guidance when you're stuck. Chances are someone else has faced a similar challenge and can offer valuable input. Share your own insights. Even if you're relatively new to mindfulness or habit change, your unique perspective might resonate deeply with others. Teaching is one of the best ways to reinforce learning. Attend workshops or retreats. Participating in events led by experts or peers expands your knowledge and deepens your connections. 3. Fostering emotional resilience. Through connection. Bad habits often stem from unmet emotional needs for comfort, validation, or escape. A supportive community addresses these needs by providing empathy, understanding, and companionship. Simply knowing that others care about your well-being can reduce feelings of isolation and increase your capacity to cope with stress. Take the example of someone trying to quit smoking. On particularly tough days, cravings can feel overwhelming, but reaching out to a supportive friend or attending a group meeting reminds them that they're part of something larger than themselves. Hearing others share their own struggles and triumphs fosters hope and determination, reinforcing the belief that change is possible. To strengthen emotional resilience through connection, but practice active listening. When engaging with others, focus fully on what they're saying without interrupting or planning your response. This builds trust and deepens relationships. Express vulnerability. Allow yourself to open up about your fears, doubts, and insecurities. Authenticity invites others to do the same, creating a culture of mutual support. Celebrate each other's wins. Acknowledge and applaud the achievements of those around you. Their successes become sources of inspiration for your own journey. 4. Creating a positive feedback loop. Communities have the unique ability to generate positive feedback loops, cycles of encouragement and reinforcement that amplify individual efforts. For instance, when you see someone else succeeding at breaking a bad habit, it motivates you to push past obstacles in your own path. Likewise, your progress inspires others to keep going, creating a ripple effect of positivity and growth. This dynamic is especially powerful in group settings like meditation circles, fitness classes, or recovery programs. Participants feed off each other's energy, creating an atmosphere of enthusiasm and camaraderie. Over time, these interactions shape a collective identity rooted in resilience, compassion, and shared purpose. To nurture a positive feedback loop, be generous with praise, offer sincere compliments and affirmations to those around you, highlight their strengths and contributions. Model healthy behavior. Demonstrate the habits and attitudes you wish to cultivate. Leading by example sets a standard for others to aspire to. Stay consistent. Regular participation strengthens bonds and reinforces commitment. Show up consistently, not just for yourself, but for the group as a whole. 5. Navigating challenges within community. While community support offers immense benefits, it's important to navigate potential challenges with awareness and grace. Not every interaction will be uplifting, and not every group will align perfectly with your values. Misunderstandings, disagreements, or differences in personality can arise, testing your patience and resolve. The key is to approach these situations mindfully. If someone says something hurtful or dismissive, resist the urge to react impulsively. Instead, pause and reflect. What triggered this reaction? Is there an opportunity for growth or clarification? Communicating openly and respectfully helps resolve conflicts and strengthens relationships in the long run. Additionally, be discerning about the communities you choose to join. Seek out groups that prioritize inclusivity, kindness, and mutual respect. Avoid toxic environments where negativity, competition, or judgment dominate. Remember, the quality of your connections matters far more than the quantity. 6. Cultivating gratitude for community. Finally, take time to express gratitude for the people who support you along your journey. Recognizing their impact not only strengthens your bond, but also reinforces your commitment to nurturing meaningful relationships. Consider keeping a gratitude journal specifically for noting moments of connection, whether it's a heartfelt conversation, a kind gesture, or simply the feeling of being understood. You can also express gratitude directly. Write thank you notes to mentors, friends, or colleagues who've made a difference in your life. Verbally acknowledge someone's contribution during a group session. Perform acts of service to give back to your community, whether it's volunteering, organizing events, or simply lending a helping hand. Gratitude transforms relationships from transactional exchanges into genuine partnerships based on mutual appreciation and care. It reminds you of the abundance of love and support available to you, counteracting feelings of scarcity or loneliness that often fuel bad habits. Why community support matters. Building community support isn't just about surrounding yourself with people, it's about cultivating a network of trust, empathy, and shared purpose. It's about recognizing that you don't have to face challenges alone and that together we're stronger than we are apart. By leaning on others for guidance, encouragement, and accountability, you create a sustainable framework for breaking bad habits and embracing healthier, happier ways of living. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect on the role community plays in your own life. Take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose. Hold it for just a second. And exhale fully through your mouth. As you breathe, think about one person or group that has supported you in your journey toward personal growth. How have they inspired or encouraged you? What would you like to thank them for? Community is more than a source of strength. It's a reminder that we're all interconnected, bound by our shared humanity. By nurturing these connections, we not only transform ourselves, but also contribute to a world filled with compassion, understanding, and hope. Take another deep breath, and let's continue exploring together. Chapter 10. Staying patient and persistent. In this final chapter, we're going to explore one of the most essential yet challenging aspects of breaking bad habits and embracing lasting change: staying patient and persistent. If there's one truth that applies universally to personal growth, it's this: meaningful transformation takes time. It requires patience, the ability to trust the process, even when progress feels slow or invisible, and persistence, the determination to keep moving forward despite setbacks or obstacles. Together, these qualities form the backbone of resilience, empowering you to stay aligned with your goals and honor the journey rather than rushing towards the destination. Let's begin by acknowledging something important. Change is rarely linear. Despite our best intentions, the road to breaking bad habits and cultivating healthier ones is often marked by twists, turns, and detours. Some days you'll feel unstoppable, like every step you take brings you closer to your vision of a better life. Other days you might stumble, fall back into old patterns, or question whether you're capable of succeeding at all. These fluctuations are normal. They're part of what makes the journey human. And while they can be frustrating, they also hold valuable lessons about patience, self-compassion, and the art of perseverance. Now let's dive deeper into how patience and persistence work hand in hand to support your growth, and why they're indispensable tools for breaking bad habits. 1. Understanding patience as strength. Patience is often misunderstood. Many people equate it with passivity or resignation, assuming that being patient means waiting idly for things to improve on their own. But true patience is an active practice. It's the willingness to endure discomfort, uncertainty, and delays without losing sight of your purpose. Far from being passive, patience requires immense strength and discipline. It asks you to sit with difficult emotions, resist the urge to rush results, and trust that consistent effort will eventually yield the outcomes you desire. When it comes to breaking bad habits, patience plays a crucial role. Habits don't form overnight, and neither do they disappear instantly. They're deeply ingrained patterns shaped by years of repetition, conditioning, and reinforcement. Undoing them takes time, not weeks or months, but potentially years. This doesn't mean you won't see progress along the way. Small victories accumulate over time, creating momentum that propels you forward. But expecting immediate results sets you up for disappointment and discouragement. Instead, approach your journey with realistic expectations and a commitment to gradual improvement. To cultivate patience, try these practices. Focus on the process, not the outcome. Shift your attention away from end goals and onto the daily actions that lead to them. For example, instead of fixating on losing weight, celebrate each healthy meal you prepare or mindful walk you take. Practice delayed gratification. Train yourself to resist instant rewards in favor of long-term benefits. Start small, wait 5 minutes before indulging a craving, then gradually increase the delay. Over time, this strengthens your ability to tolerate discomfort. Reframe setbacks as learning opportunities. When you slip up, remind yourself that mistakes are part of the learning curve. Ask, what triggered this behavior? What could I do differently next time? Each misstep teaches you something new. 2. The power of persistence. While patience helps you navigate the ebbs and flows of personal growth, persistence ensures you keep showing up, even when motivation wanes or challenges arise. Persistence isn't about brute force or sheer willpower. It's about maintaining steady, consistent effort over time. Think of it like water carving a canyon through rock. The water doesn't rush or push. It flows gently yet relentlessly, shaping its surroundings drop by drop. Similarly, persistence transforms your habits and mindset through incremental, sustained action. One of the keys to persistence is finding intrinsic motivation, the internal drive that fuels your efforts regardless of external circumstances. Ask yourself, why am I committed to breaking this habit? How will my life improve as a result? Connecting your actions to a deeper sense of purpose makes it easier to stay motivated even during tough times. To build persistence, incorporate these strategies. Set micro goals. Break larger objectives into smaller manageable tasks. For instance, if your goal is to meditate daily, start with just 2 minutes per session and gradually increase the duration. Completing micro goals builds confidence and momentum. Create routines that stick. Embed new behaviors into existing routines so they become automatic over time. For example, pair drinking water first thing in the morning with brushing your teeth, or link journaling with your evening wind-down ritual. Celebrate effort, not perfection. Acknowledge your hard work, no matter how imperfect it may feel. Progress is messy, and that's okay. Every step forward counts. 3. Embracing impermanence in your journey. As we discussed earlier in this video, impermanence is a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy, and it's especially relevant when it comes to staying patient and persistent. Just as cravings and emotions are transient, so too are the highs and lows of personal growth. On days when you feel stuck or discouraged, remember that this moment won't last forever. Like clouds passing across the sky, challenges come and go, making room for clarity and breakthroughs. This perspective helps you detach from rigid timelines and unrealistic expectations. Rather than viewing setbacks as failures, see them as temporary phases that contribute to your overall development. By embracing impermanence, you cultivate equanimity, a balanced state of mind that allows you to face adversity with grace and resilience. 4. Building resilience through reflection. Reflection is a powerful tool for staying patient and persistent, regularly pausing to assess your progress, not just in terms of tangible results, but also in terms of insights gained and skills developed, reinforces your commitment to growth. Journaling is an excellent way to engage in reflective practice. Write about your experiences, noting both successes and struggles. Ask yourself, what am I learning? How am I evolving? What adjustments can I make to stay aligned with my goals? Additionally, reflection fosters gratitude for the journey itself. Instead of focusing solely on where you want to be, appreciate how far you've come. Celebrate milestones, no matter how small, and recognize the courage it took to embark on this path in the first place. 5. Finding inspiration in nature. Nature offers profound lessons in patience and persistence. Consider the growth of a tree. It starts as a tiny seed buried beneath layers of soil. At first glance, nothing seems to happen, but beneath the surface, roots spread and strengthen, preparing the foundation for future growth. With time, sunlight, and nourishment, the seed sprouts, grows into a sapling, and eventually matures into a towering tree. This process unfolds slowly, patiently, and persistently, reminding us that great things take time to manifest. Similarly, think about rivers carving valleys or glaciers shaping mountains. These natural forces operate quietly yet relentlessly, transforming landscapes over millennia. Their persistence inspires us to adopt a similar mindset in our own lives, to trust that consistent effort, however modest, yields extraordinary results over time. To draw inspiration from nature, spend time outdoors regularly. Walk barefoot in the grass, watch the sunrise, or simply observe the changing seasons. Let these experiences ground you in the rhythms of life, reinforcing the importance of patience and persistence. 6. Cultivating a growth mindset. A growth mindset, the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work, is foundational to staying patient and persistent. People with a growth mindset view challenges as opportunities to learn rather than insurmountable barriers. They understand that failure isn't a reflection of their worth, but a stepping stone towards success. To nurture a growth mindset, embrace challenges. Step outside your comfort zone regularly. Take on projects or activities that stretch your skills and expand your horizons. Seek feedback. Welcome constructive criticism as a tool for improvement. Approach feedback with curiosity rather than defensiveness. Normalize mistakes. Remind yourself that everyone makes errors. It's how we grow. Treat mistakes as data points that inform your next steps. 7. practicing self-compassion along the way. Finally, staying patient and persistent requires an ongoing commitment to self-compassion. As we've explored earlier in this video, self-criticism undermines motivation and erodes resilience. Instead, treat yourself with kindness and understanding, especially during moments of struggle. Remember, you're human, and humans aren't perfect. Every effort you make, no matter how flawed, deserves recognition and appreciation. Here are some ways to practice self-compassion. Use gentle language. Replace harsh self-talk with supportive affirmations. For example, instead of saying, "I messed up again," try, "I'm doing my best and I'll try again tomorrow." Take breaks when needed. Rest is not laziness, it's a vital component of sustainable growth. Listen to your body and mind and give yourself permission to pause when necessary. Surround yourself with positivity. Fill your environment with uplifting messages, inspiring books, and supportive people who remind you of your worth. Why patience and persistence matter. Staying patient and persistent isn't just about achieving specific goals, it's about embodying the qualities needed to thrive in life. These traits teach you to embrace uncertainty, lean into discomfort, and trust the unfolding of your journey. They help you break free from the tyranny of perfectionism and instant gratification, fostering a deeper sense of fulfillment and peace. Most importantly, they empower you to show up fully for yourself, knowing that every step forward, no matter how small, contributes to the masterpiece of your life. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect on the role patience and persistence play in your own life. Take a deep breath, inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for just a second, and exhale fully through your mouth. As you breathe, consider one area where you could practice greater patience or persistence. Perhaps it's resisting the urge to give up after a setback, trusting that small actions add up over time, or simply allowing yourself to rest when needed. Whatever it is, trust that your commitment to staying patient and persistent will carry you through. Patience and persistence are gifts you give yourself, a promise to honor the process, cherish the journey, and believe in the possibility of transformation. By nurturing these qualities, you create a life filled with purpose, resilience, and joy. Take another deep breath, and let's continue exploring together. And so we've come to the end of our journey together today. A journey through understanding bad habits, embracing mindfulness, cultivating compassion, and building routines that support lasting change. As we close this chapter, I want to take a moment to thank you for being here, for showing up not only for yourself, but also for the possibility of transformation. Every step you've taken to explore these teachings is a testament to your courage, curiosity, and commitment to growth. Let's reflect on what we've covered throughout this video. We began by shining a light on the nature of bad habits, the automatic behaviors driven by triggers, emotions, and conditioning. From there, we explored the power of mindfulness to create space between stimulus and response, empowering you to choose healthier actions. We delved into self-compassion, reminding ourselves that kindness, not criticism, is the foundation of sustainable change. Along the way, we practiced meditation techniques, embraced impermanence, simplified our lives, and celebrated the beauty of gratitude. We also recognized the importance of community support and the strength found in shared accountability. Finally, we anchored ourselves in patience and persistence, trusting that meaningful progress unfolds gradually, one small step at a time. Each of these principles, mindfulness, compassion, simplicity, connection, and resilience, forms a thread in the tapestry of personal growth. Together they weave a narrative of hope and possibility, reminding us that breaking bad habits isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about meeting yourself exactly where you are, with all your strengths and vulnerabilities, and choosing again and again to move forward with intention and grace. As you leave this space and return to your daily life, I encourage you to carry these insights with you. Start small. Maybe it's pausing to notice your breath when you feel overwhelmed, or perhaps it's writing down 3 things you're grateful for before bed. These tiny acts may seem insignificant, but they ripple outward, shaping your mindset and influencing your choices in profound ways. Remember, every effort counts, even the imperfect ones. I'd also like to remind you that you're never alone on this path. Whether it's through friends, family, or communities of like-minded individuals, reach out and lean on those who uplift and inspire you. And don't forget, the Mindful Zone is always here as a resource for guidance, encouragement, and reflection. If today's conversation resonated with you, consider subscribing to our channel or exploring other videos in this series. Each one is designed to deepen your practice and expand your understanding of mindfulness and well-being. Before we part ways, let's take a final moment to breathe together. Close your eyes if you'd like, or soften your gaze. Bring your awareness to your breath. Feel the air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and leaving your body. With each inhale, invite calmness and clarity into your mind. With each exhale, release tension and doubt. Trust that you have everything you need within you to navigate challenges, break free from unhelpful patterns, and create a life filled with purpose and joy. One last thought to carry with you. Change begins with awareness, grows through action, and blossoms into transformation. You've already taken the first step simply by tuning in today. Now it's up to you to keep walking this path, one mindful moment at a time. Thank you once again for joining me here in the Mindful Zone. May your days be gentle, your heart open, and your spirit resilient. Until next time, walk kindly through your world, and remember, the journey is just as beautiful as the destination. Namaste.